Developing Local Provision project, we get pupils referred to us from the Senkos across the 15 schools in the network, and those children have got low reading and spelling ages based on prior Key Stage 2 attainment or assessments that the secondary schools might have done on those pupils as they enter in Year 7. So it might be CAT testing, it might be NGRT, it might be GL assessments, it might be literacy assessment online, and we look at that data and that picture as a whole, and they're then referred to us, and we look at perhaps how we can support them in the 6-week project. They then come to us, so they have an induction, the members of the school come, the parents come, so it's a real sort of inclusive induction process, and that really then supports the learners when they're there for those 6 weeks, because we make weekly phone calls home to look at how they can those children can improve. So it's a really short programme, it's a short time, 6 weeks, but we make it as sort of immersive as we can in terms of speaking to families regularly, speaking to the Senkos regularly. So once they come in, we'll do our own assessments. We don't want it to be an assessment driven sort of placement, but we just need to get a picture of where they are in terms of baseline. So we'll have a look at them, but we'll go diagnostically into a little bit more detail. So if it is a phonic decoding issue, or if it is a comprehension issue, so they might be able to read really fluently, but they might just be barking at the page and they're not using that in terms of understanding the text in front of them. The beauty of them coming to us for 6 weeks is that I can be there over that 6 weeks, and the valuable input we get from the teachers, just to see how best that child learns in terms of adaptive teaching. It could be some transcription support with a writing slope. It could be some choral repetition and pre-tutoring of vocabulary with the scanning pen. It could be some initial sounds work through phonics, through Literacy Junction. It can be lots of different things that we know would support that learner. And over that 6-week period, we'll deliver that immersive, broad and balanced curriculum. It's only a short time, but then after that, we'll do some exit data. So we'll exit them on the same assessments that we've brought them in at. So it might be the YARC, it might be the Salford, and then we'll collate that data and I'll write a report. And on that report, it had 300 pupils plus over the last 3 years. Every learner has made progress in one aspect, one or more of the aspect in terms of the data. So it might be attendance, might be a focus, it might be their well-being, it might be their phonics, it might be comprehension, it might be independent writing based on the Birmingham Language and Literacy Toolkit. So there's lots of elements that they can progress in. So there's always a positive celebration at the end. Some of them will have a spiky profile, and then on my report I'll talk about how that child learns best and what adaptive teaching strategies the homeschool can then use as part of in-class support, and then I'll recommend perhaps some intervention, some targeted support. There's a variety of ways that they exit the programme, so it could be, actually we believe this child's needs can be met through quality first teaching. Here are some hints and tips for you to be able to do that in a whole school environment and in the classroom environment, or actually this child needs quite significant specialist support, and this is the route we suggest you go down. So that sort of relationship that I have with all of the Senkos, including Liz, has worked really, really well to get to where the point we are today, with supporting them with bigger things when the project ends. So Liz has been a pioneer with some of her reading CPD and research that she's offered to the school. Nishkam are also undertaking the Send and Inclusion Award. So after the project ends, we want certain schools to be flagship schools and be proud of Send and how they've supported struggling readers, and proud of that inclusivity across a really difficult city to work in. So the 3 main key interventions that we've used that have been really, really successful, I would say, is reciprocal reading, and that builds that independence and passion to read weekly. Literacy Junction has been integral in terms of supporting some of the learners that have got those multisensory needs. Because Literacy Junction's got the writing element, there's so much you can do with that writing element in terms of transcription, composition, independent writing, having that oral retelling and how that looks on paper, and supporting learners with that. So I would say reciprocal reading, Literacy Junction, and then scanning pens. So I think building sustainability through key aspects like being able to say that we can share good practice around reading and supporting struggling readers, I think is our vision when the project ends. So I know that if I need to signpost any school in the future, I know where the work has been done and it's been done well. So that's the vision after the project ends, really, is about sustainability around the support.